Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor back on the last homely house in Rivendell. On the previous episode, well, it was quite eventful, of course, with the death of Narmeleth and the defeat of Mordred at Nangurt. And that officially marks the end of Volume 1. We still have a few leftovers from the original Shadows of Angmar content. But now that we're about to begin a new epic, I guess all this will fall into Volume 2 of Citadel Guard Adventures regardless. So let us begin by picking up the Prologue of Volume 2. There are many different places in which you can collect it, but thankfully one of them is really close by. So we need to talk to Parpetnir.
Legovana, might you spare a moment of your time?
Master Elrond wishes to speak with you, Beriathan. He says the elves have need of the strength of the race of men and wishes you to speak with him about some matter of urgency. Go inside and speak with Master Elrond in his library. Alright, so one of the very last visits that we'll pay to Elrond's library. There are still a couple left, but not that many, especially in comparison to the other ones that we have already done as part of Volume 1. So, yeah, it's the end of an era, really. Anyway, here is Elrond.
A strange fate brings you hither.
Welcome, Beriathan. I am pleased to see you well. We must be thankful for every journey that ends in safety, for these are dangerous times and the shadows grow ever long outside Rivendell. A small company will soon be setting forth on a mission of great secrecy to combat this growing dark. I am loath to speak in detail of their errand, but know that it will do great hurt to the enemies of this age if they succeed. The fate of the race of men concerns you closely, Beriathan, and I know that you are trustworthy. Two doughty men prepare to set forth on this perilous journey. Lend them your assistance as they prepare to leave. I speak of Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and Boromir of Gondor. Look for them in one of the guest rooms along the road that winds up the southern slope of the Vale of Imladris. Alright, so gonna lend a hand to Boromir and Aragorn. And of course for Beriathan, this is especially meaningful. Lending a hand once again to the heir of Isildur, the King of Gondor, even though he hasn't still claimed the throne, and the son of the Steward as well, so there is a lot of Gondorian and Númenorian heritage, and obviously this I think is more meaningful than, let's say, a Man of Dale or a Man of Bree or even a Man of Rohan doing this. Let us go and find Boromir and Aragorn at the guest rooms, and let's see what they want us to do. In all honesty, I don't remember this one either. And now that we're going to the guest rooms, we can also turn in with Aragorn our class quest. We're gonna earn a new trait point, and that means we're gonna unlock a new bonus. But this is all great. Let's talk to Aragorn first.
Greetings.
We are well met, Beriathan. I should be troubled that you have found me so easily in these times, but if you bear greetings from Hrotha, I know your intent cannot be ill. He is a great warden, and if he thinks well of you, then I do as well, for he does not give his friendship lightly. Courage is the greatest virtue of our kind, Beriathan. All else may fail us, but never our bravery. We are the bulwark between the darkness of the world and those who could not bear to behold it. Without stout hearts, even in the face of death, we cannot hope to prevail against our foes. For your spear may fail you, and yes, you have Eregion as well, but your spirit must never flag. This is the greatest lesson I have learned through all my long years and travels. This then is my word, Beriathan. Go always with valor, and always remember that you must protect all who need it. Very well, and we got a new class trait point.
Greetings.
Now for the foreword. Elrond has entrusted you with knowledge of our errand, Beriathan. I am glad. I go with Boromir to his city of Minas Tirith, a journey that lies along that of the rest of the company for many leagues, and yet the route to take is still undecided. I see two ways for the company to take. We might make for the Redhorn Gate, the pass over the mountains that descend into Dimrildale, where lie the still waters of the Mirrormere, or we might head for the Gap of Rohan by which Boromir came north. There are difficulties associated with each way, but one of these two must prove the better route. I will continue poring over the maps, Beriathan. Will you speak with Gandalf about these two routes? I believe he is in Bilbo's room on the first floor of the House of Elrond.
Could I speak with you a moment?
It does my heart good to see a man such as you, Beriathan. Aragorn there seems a strong man, but he seems to prize the friendship of elves over that of his own kind. So many elves in this place. Every hour we spend in this hidden valley prolongs the struggle of Gondor. How many men will fall in its defense ere we depart? My sword arm itches for battle, and my horn longs to be sounded. You understand the need we have for haste, Beriathan. You are not like these others, who live for such a long span that the concerns of the present must seem trivial or meaningless. But it is not so. Climb the winding road to the south entrance to the valley and ask the guards there if they have need of my vigilance. I will spend the time until we depart guarding the borders if they have need of my strength. Right, I think that in there is a great characterization of Boromir, really. He's always offering his aid, and he always wants to make himself useful in the fight against the enemy, and giving the knowledge and the skill that he has for it. And Boromir offering to stay vigilant while the company gets ready to leave. Yeah, that's totally in line with his character. Something that I hadn't really given much thought before. But yeah, it's just a couple lines and it really does the character justice. Let us talk to the Sentinels. Need to climb a few of these slopes, but they are closer. Well, not necessarily closer, but it's better to go to them now instead of going to Rivendell, the last homely house, first. At least in my opinion. Yeah, this is quite a journey. But it's not that far away now. We have things here at the entrance to the valley well in hand, Beriathan. I appreciate the intention of our visitor from the south, but we have no need of his assistance. Imladris has been safe from attacks for long years before either he or you walked in Eriador. Thank him for the offer, but tell him his concern is misplaced. The Elves can protect Imladris. Right. Let us take the horse. Let us ride Limbot because... yeah, this is quite the path. Well, I don't usually call the horse because I know this might be just a misconception, of course, especially, well, depending on the circumstances. But for me, it always feels like the 3 seconds of animation to mount the horse are more than it's worth, really. Like, I always feel like I lose time with that animation that actually running to where I'm going, especially if I'm used forced march. And but for longer walks like this one, I think obviously right on Limbot it's better, but it's just that the speed at which the force moves its legs against the speed at which we move our legs when we use the forced march always makes me think like, yeah, I'm going faster by foot. And once again, it's just a misconception. It might be just a placebo, but that's what it has always felt to me. But anyway, let us go and talk to Gandalf, to Mithrandir, and discuss the path the company is gonna take. Alright, so here we are.
Why do you disturb me?
2 ways, you say? What are the 2 ways over the mountains that Aragorn proposes? The passage of the mountains could be difficult. The Redhorn Gate is very high up, and in winter the heights may be treacherous. I do not believe the Gap of Rohan will be open to us. That way would bring the company too close to Isengard, and Aragorn will understand why we must not go that way. But there is a 3rd way through the mountains. I will not speak of it here, but Aragorn will know the way of which I speak. Return to him with my misgivings. Misgivings indeed, because Mithrandir is talking about a dark and perilous road. Unknown to many in the company, and to Beriathan as well. Yeah, I don't think Aragorn is gonna be too happy when we tell him about the 3rd way Gandalf is talking about.
How can I be of service?
What did you say, Beriathan? The Elves have turned down my offer of aid. This is what I expected, though it grieves me to see it so clearly. The Elves believe that they have no need for us, Beriathan. They may change their opinion if Gondor falls, and change it quickly. Do they not see that our people are their last real defense? Have they forgotten the great deeds of our people that have made this land safe? We must remind them, my friend. Go to the Hall of Fire in the House of Elrond and remind some of the elf singers there of the great deeds of our people, of the Gondorian cavalry perhaps, and of Elendil and his sons. They will not then undervalue the contributions of our people.
Greetings.
I do know of this 3rd way, and Gandalf knows too that I am loath to bring the company through the mountains by that road. It is a dark way and dangerous. I will say no more of it now, but I hope it will not come to that. My heart tells me that the Redhorn Gate is safest for our purposes. Thank you, Beriathan. You have done me a service. Back to the last homely house, it seems. So this tells Boromir once You need to tell the elf singers. Yeah, of course, Beriathan knows them as well. The Gondorian tradition, the Gondorian cavalry, the right of Earnur to Minas Morgul, as ill-fated as it was. The Battle of Fornost, the Battle of Osgiliath that Boromir himself has fought so recently, Elendil and his sons at the Siege of Mordor, the defeat of Sauron, the long years of vigilance by the Gondorian army. Yeah, Beriathan knows all these stories, and he is sure to tell them to the elf singers. What will they have to say about it? At Boromir's urging, you recite the tale of Elendil and his sons, and the strength they brought to bear in the Battle of Dagorlad at the Black Gate of Mordor. I know this tale, but I know it by another name, for in Imladris it is called the Song of the Last Alliance, and involves more characters, not just Elendil the Tall, but Gil-galad our king, and Master Elrond, and Círdan the shipwright. But you have reminded me of this, and I urge you not to forget it yourself, Beriathan. Neither elves alone nor men alone could have withstood the power of the enemy at the siege of Mordor. At Boromir's urging, you recite the tale of the right of the Gondorian cavalry that pursued the Witch King from Fornost, where the forces of Angmar were routed. A good tale, and the deeds of Prince Earnur are worthy of remembrance, as are those of many strong men besides. But your tale has ended before Earnur's horse gave way in terror of the Witch King, where if not for the arrival of the Elf Lord Glorfindel, things may have gone ill for the captain of Gondor that day. But your point is clear. Against the great evils of the Shadow, elves and men must stand together. It is a lesson gladly remembered. And it is a lesson that Boromir usually forgets. He is a proud man, and he has endured much fighting the forces of Gondor. Indeed, all Gondorians have, but Boromir bears himself more than the others with the weight of this responsibility. So it's easy for him to forget. Or maybe not forget, but undervalue in his own way the contribution of elves as well. That is one of the many contradictions, or, well, maybe not contradictions, but nuances of Boromir's character. And it's crystal clear in here. He doesn't like the value of men being underestimated by the elves, but sometimes he does underestimate the elves' own contribution to the war and the support they have given to the race of men throughout the years. And I think this is part of what makes him become so desperate in the end, and do what he will eventually do.
What do you need?
You have eased my mind, Beriathan. Though it seemed we struggle alone, it is not so. That is why we fight on, not just for our own people, but for all peoples. But I mean, Boromir is not... He doesn't mean ill for the elves at all. Just that he is so focused on his own fight and the fight of Gondor that he tends to overlook those aspects. But as you see, you only need to remind him of that, and then he is able to see the bigger picture. Yeah, Boromir is a very conflicted character, as many other people have pointed out throughout the years. And this questing here really lets you go deep inside Boromir's character. Something that we don't have many chances of doing, since the company is about to leave. We will only have a couple more times of talking to Boromir. But anyway, let us talk to Elrond. Let us tell him that we have done what we could to aid the men of the company. And I don't know if Elrond will have another task for us. Let us see.
A strange fate brings you hither.
Thank you for helping Aragorn and Boromir with their preparations, Beriathan. The fate of all your people is bound to the success of the mission they must undertake.
Hope is not in vain.
The time has come for the company to depart on their errand of secrecy, Beriathan. As you have been of some assistance with the preparations, you may join the members of my household as we see them on their way. Tell me when you are ready to wish them well. It is time, Beriathan. Let us go with my household to wish the company well.
The household of Elrond Half-Elven gather to bid farewell to 9 brave adventurers entrusted with a secret task which could mean the salvation or doom of Rivendell. I, Gandalf the Grey, must lead them along dark roads.
Alright, so there is a lot of screenshot-worthy material around the corner. Let us... gotta talk to Frodo first. But let us... yeah, this is the company ready to leave. So Frodo, Sam, Merry and Pippin, Aragorn, Legolas, Boromir, Gimli. We're only waiting for Gandalf. This is straight out of the books, taken straight out of the books. Everything seems to be ready, Beriathan, and we're about to leave. Hopefully I will see you again once this is all done with. Vision that we cannot see further more closely, but you take care of yourself, Frodo. Adventuring is dangerous business. It is, but look at all the help I'll have. You're right, Frodo. You can't go wrong with a Took, a Brandybuck, and a Gamgee. Solid hobbit soul. Come here, Geralt. I'm getting the picture. Good one, Frodo. Alright. Now, we need to talk to Aragorn. Oh, but first... this is a classic Strider pose, I would say. Alright. Keep an eye upon these lands while we are away, my friend. Our errand is a dangerous one, but there will be danger behind us too, and my footsteps will be easier if I know that Beriathan remains behind to protect against them. My own journey will carry me far from here. Anduril will go to Minas Tirith, but my road follows out of the company for many leagues. Alright, so now gotta talk to Samwise and Meriadoc. Samwise, you thunderhead, you've gone and forgotten to bring a bit of rope with you. I knew there was something you had forgot. Bill here will have too much to carry as it is, and I've lightened his load as much as I can. Alright, Sam and Bill. Nope. This one. Sam and Bill. You're in it. You're in it. You're in for it now, same as we are, Bill. Got to look after each other, we do. And here we have Boromir. Gimli, good to see you once again, Gimli. Alright, so now let us talk to Meriadoc. This is it, Beriathan. Wish us luck and we'll be sure to come through okay. Leastways, we'll make sure to lend Frodo all the help we can and do whatever Gandalf needs us to do. We'll see you when we get back, and that's a promise. Come on, Pip, it's almost time to go. I'm ready, I was just saving my energy, Mary. Now, to Boromir. If it were up to me, I would ask you to come with us, Beriathan. The halflings are too well represented. Why should the race of men have so few within the company? So begins a new journey. Let us go forth boldly, I say, rather than skulking from shadow to shadow, and let the enemy quail at our coming. Are we ready last to leave? I will be glad to put this wedding behind us. Always do I wind my horn at setting forth, let the enemy quake at its call. That was ill done, Boromir. The strength of the company's errand is in its secrecy. Why should we creep in darkness and in fear? We are not thieves. Yet we must live like thieves, Boromir, or risk detection. Come here, Beriathan. The number of the company has been chosen, Beriathan, and any more would threaten the success of its mission. You have business remaining in Eregion, brave man. Defend its people from the lengthening shadows. If the errand of this company fails, Eregion will have need of her heroes before the final darkness. You have done your part, Beriathan. This burden is for others to bear. The company is setting out on the quest of Mount Doom. I ask no oath or bond of you, save Frodo alone. You go with him as free companions. Any who abandon Frodo will answer to my axe. A fool vows to walk any road when he knows not where it winds, Gimli. Touch about my length the full courage to strengthen his heart if strength is needed. Rely instead upon each other and take what counsels you can. Go now, and with the blessings of all free folk, farewell. Come on, Bill. The company gotta get in line, like, farewell, sweet Madrid. You will stay always in my memory. I cannot go further. What is it, Pippin? I'm hungry. Good old Pippin. Where they go? Let us wait until they cross the bridge before we go back to Elrond. That's the last of them. We are left here. It is dawn, and they are beyond my aid. For all of my wisdom, I cannot see the end of the road. May they come to it in safety and return to Rivendell in victory. And so the company departs. May the stars shine upon the road's end. Let us go back inside, Beriathan. There is nothing more we can do for them. The company must now rely upon their own strength and wisdom. Alright, here we are.
dark days are coming.
It is done, Beriathan. All our hopes now rest upon the 9 members of the company, 9 walkers to stand against the 9 riders of the enemy. May they come to no harm and return in safety, their task completed. There is nothing we can do now for them. We must stand tall against the shadow and keep its attention focused upon us, far away from those who can do it the greatest harm. That is our task now, Beriathan. Do you accept it? Mark of the Fellowship. Plus 5 hope. This is gonna be a good one to keep. Alright. And this was the prologue, the forward to the Volume 2. Do not weight yourself with the burden of grief, Beriathan. Normally we live again in the Undying Lands. And the Arnor, alright. I missed the rest of it, but in any case, now we're ready to continue our journey. I'm not entirely sure when this forward was initially released, because by the looks of it and the dialogue that we have just witnessed, it seems as if it was released in the middle of Volume 1, but the company departed before we were done with Amarthiel and the Mordred's menace. And that's why we had to stay in Eregion to take care of it. But if you remember, we were able to pick the trail of the company in Eregion. We have already done part of that quest line already, but I think we can retrace our steps and refresh our memory as to what happened. So now that we have that, let us write manually to Queen because I have an idea that I want to show you.
What can I do for you?
And allow me just one moment. I'm gonna travel to Wingwraith. Be back to you in just a moment. Alright, so here we are back in Wingwraith. Let me tell you really quick what we're gonna do, and I hope it doesn't take too much time. But basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna recreate the quest that we did earlier, so that we can retrace the company and then pick up where we left. And this is something that I have seen done on Renaissance Gaming's channel. He also uploads LOTRO content, and he aims to do a full 100% run of the game. And since there are some quests that are mutually exclusive, what happens is when he chooses one of those quests, he will go and well, artificially recreate is what he calls him, the other quest. So basically he goes where the quest giver is located. He will show you the quest text, then he will complete the objective, whether it is a gather an item from a location, defeating mobs, or scouting a place, or whatever it is, he will do it, and that way he will show you what the quest is all about. So we're gonna do something really similar in here, and shout out to Renaissance Gaming He produces great content, and he is very thought of with what he does. And right now he's about to enter Rohan. As of the time of recording this, he is about to enter Eastern Rohan. So the best of wishes to him on his journey. So this quest line is called Footsteps of the Company, and it begins with Maedlathron in here. So basically what he will say is, "Greetings Beriathan, I and my companions have recently come from Rivendell at the behest of Master Elrond. He fears that the spies of the enemy may dog the steps of the company which left him laddered some little while ago. The company which bears a heavy burden and commanded us to follow in their wake, lest some sign of their passing be left behind. To this end, many of my companions have come forth to scour the lands. It is clear that Aragorn, son of Arathorn, journeys with the company still, for there has been little of note to see. They have lit few fires for fear of the enemy, which is good. However, one of my scouts reports that he saw signs of an old campfire southeast of here. If you would seek out that camp and learn if any other sign has been left behind which may reveal the composition of the company. The campsite lies far to the southeast beyond Sat Reku, nestled at the base of some boulders." Alright. So, that camp, I'm not entirely sure where it is. So, let us make our way to that camp. It's not that far. And it's like in between Sat Reku and Pembar, if I remember correctly. I hope you don't mind me recreating this quest. I mean, an excuse for doing more content in Eregion, I guess. Which looks beautiful, has amazing music, so the more time we spend in here, the better, in my opinion. Alright, so here is the campsite of the company. Here you can see yeah, the fire they used, the logs they used to see it. And in here, it's really small, but you can still see it. There is a pouch of pipeweed. So this is what we collect to advance the quest, the pouch of pipeweed, and then we make our way back to Wingris and let Maedlathron know what we have found. We would have picked the pouch of pipeweed in here. Let's just try to avoid some of the enemies on our way back. Alright, and here we would have turned the quest. You say you found this pouch at the campsite. It contains some small portion of the halfling's pipewit. It may be that one of the halflings or the dwarves dropped this. Such carelessness could be their undoing. Will be the first quest completed. And we have the second quest. So, it says, Beriathan, I fear there is little time to lose. Go to Eregion, far to the south and east, and speak with Golgalon. Warn him that there may yet be signs of the companies passing in the wild. Okay. So we can safely map to Eregion. That's why we still have our milestone in here. Speak with my kinsman Golgalon at Eregion. Warn him that the company's path may be compromised by the carelessness of the halflings. And then we'll need to talk to Golgalon. And here, I would say, if only these were new tidings you bring me, Beriathan. Alas, we have ourselves seen signs of the company's passing. I fear they have already been discovered. Nevertheless, we must take no chances. There is much work to be done. We'll begin the third quest in here. Our own scouts discovered another campsite to the east and somewhat north of here, just beyond Thorek Bornagol and Thorek Karangor. We fear it too is a remnant of the company's passing. Go there, Beriathan, and search for any items possibly left behind. It is clear that certain members of the company are not as careful as they should be. If you find anything, return to me at once. Let us make our way to that camp. We came a little bit too north. We need to go to the east and a little bit south. Camp should be over here somewhere. I think I know. It should be by this tree, if I'm reading the signs correctly. Alright, here is the camp. So, this camp has been disturbed, and it appears something was taken. From the signs you have found, it would appear the ransackers were either orcs or half-orcs. Tracks lead away to the south. It appears that there are at least 2 half-orcs and 1 horse. Golgalon will want to know about this. Yeah, you would have inspected the campsite, and you would have received that quest, well, that text. Now we need to go back to Eregion and talk to Golgalon. And by the way, while we get back to Eregion, if you happen to know when exactly the foreword of Volume 2 was released, this one that we just did with the departure of the company from Rivendell, please let me know if either it was released at some point during the Shadow of Angmar epic or if it was released alongside book 15 with the release of the Mines of Moria. I'm really curious to know about that, and I haven't found anything about it online. But I have to admit, I haven't been very thorough with my research. And if you can tell me that one, I would really appreciate it. Right, anyway, we go back to Golgalon. let him know about the camp. And he would say, "This is worse than I thought, Beriathan. Whatever the enemy found may disclose who the members of the company are and put their quest in jeopardy." We would have gotten the fourth quest. "You say you saw tracks leading southwards. These half-orcs clearly serve Saruman and are bearing their price to Isengard. From what you say, they only have a single horse between them, so it is likely a pack horse rather than a mount. You should be able to catch them. Fortunately, our scouts saw such a pair of half-orcs to the east and a little south of here, almost due south of the campsite. Hurry, you must recover whatever they took from the campsite." We're gonna find the half-orcs. Taking their prices to Isengard. Isengard. And what price is that one? We still don't know. Yeah, we gotta find that half-orc. That pair of half-orcs, rather. So once again, they are a little bit north and east. A little bit south, I believe. Yeah, a little bit south, rather. And east. Sorry. My bad. I'm not too good with coordinates. Alright, but it's right beside that rock there on the horizon. If memory serves me right. There he is. So that's the half-orc we were looking. His name is Luke. Upon talking to him, he would say, "You are too late, Warden. My companion is already headed south with our prize. Sharky will soon know everything he needs to find that precious thing he seeks. I am not about to let you hinder its delivery. Die!" He would attack you. Right now he is inactive. We cannot interact with him. After defeating him, we need to go back to Golgalon at Eregion. And there he mentions Sharky. So if you're able to put 2 and 2 together, well, not you, not the player, you already know what's going on. But if Beriathan is able to put 2 and 2 together, he would realize the Sharky is another name for Saruman. And if he is able to remember what happened to him in Brilland, he will then know that Saruman already has a presence in Brilland. But with everything that Beriathan has gone through lately, Mordred, Amartil, Mordrambur, Galadir, Dunahar, I think the little bit of information of the leader of some petty brigands wouldn't have caught much of his attention. So we can forgive Beriathan for not remembering who Sharky is, and for not being able to tie this up together, because had he known, I think he would have told someone like the Rangers, Elrond, Gandalf, anyone really. But anyway, you go back to Golgalon with tidings of the half-orcs. He would say, "The second half-orc is alone now and headed south. That is troubling, for it means he may be using the horse as a mount. He has a strong enough lead, but perhaps there is yet time." We will begin
Sweet lad
the
Melon,
next quest.
will you stay a moment?
We have already picked up from where we left. This is roughly half of the quest line, but this is a quest line that upon completion will unlock some other quests. So we really are missing more than we have done already. In any case, let us continue from where we left. Your return here is all that may stand in the way of success, but not all is yet lost. The remaining half-orc will likely ride hard for Isengard, but that will hinder him more than aid him. He will be forced to stop the sooner to rest his mount. That is when you will need to strike. From what you tell me, I would guess he would make for the Dunlending camp of Port Catlus, south of the Cyrenon. The encampment lies to the southeast of here, but I would look first along the northern banks of the Citadel, now dry. That is where he would most likely rest his horse. And this is a timed quest, so you have half an hour to go there and fight the Havork. Well, at least locate him. You see, it's almost a straight line between Eregion and Nan Siranon, so let us take it. Now, there is also another date which I'm not sure if it was added with this quest line or exactly when it was added to Eregion. Eregion here. But that is the ring goes south. So, High Holding Campsite, which is the campsite from the first quest, and the Tal Caradhras campsite, which is the campsite that Colgalon wanted us to find. Now we have the third location in here. The Burnt Tor. So this is where the company came after their failed ascent to Caradhras, and this is where the Works ambushed them and where they fought back before heading to Moria. And it's burnt because, well, if you haven't read the books, you might already guess why, but Gandalf basically set the entire hill on fire. And that way the company was able to drive off the Works and get some time to escape, thanks to Gandalf. In any case, let us now locate the Havork and his horse. It's gonna be far now. Ah, there they are. I haven't time for the likes of you. Retrieved a cooking pot. Okay, so this was all because of a pot. Let us go back to Eregion and let Golgala know what we found. How can we say this? Like, we're checking the potty to Isengard, maybe? We're checking the potty to Isengard. But in any case, we were able to stop them. So it might seem like a tribal, really, a cooking pot, but any kind of information that reaches the enemy could prove fatal. So we got what we needed. Small cooking pot, likely made by a hobbit. You can imagine the size. And now let us go back to Golgalon. Okay, there he is.
Megovanen.
This was all you found upon the half-orc. We are fortunate that it was something so common and unremarkable. Now what can we take here? Goblin maybe? Vitality and agility. That is a good javelin, yeah, let us take it.
Greetings, friend. Will you lend me your ear?
Indeed, we were fortunate that all the company left behind was a cooking pot, but I fear for the carelessness of the halflings. I am not sure that they yet understand fully that their quest is not a mere stroll in the wilderness. Nevertheless, it is our lot to make sure the enemy does not learn more of the company or its quest. To this end, I would have you go to Ehad Dunan, some distance to the southeast of here, and speak with Rivendell. Tell him all that has transpired and serve him as best you may. Alright. So, Ehad Dunan is to the southeast. We have other vector quests to Ehad Dunan as well. So that's why I didn't go there initially. You might remember that from one of the previous episodes. And instead decided to go right to Mirabel and advance the epic. But now we're ready to go to Ehad Dunan and advance all the side content that we are missing in Eregion. And in Ehad Dunan as well is where the next volume of the epic will begin. So join me on the next episode where we will do all that. And for today, thank you so much for watching today's episode. And I hope to see you on the next one. Stay safe, my friends. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you soon. Bye bye, all of you.